All right, we have Sullivan Cauley.
Recording in
start
progress.
with Santiago.
Hi, Sullivan. Thank you for the time. You have been with the promotion since 2020 and you scored a couple of beautiful first round finishes and you looked happy while you did it. How have you experienced your time in a major MMA promotion thus far?
First guy out in Connecticut, I turned to the camera and said, this is a dream come true for me. I always wanted to be a fighter and obviously wanted to fight in a major promotion, and Bellator is just that. It's a lot of work, but it's been quite the ride. I always joke around, this is way better than having a job.
What is it like to have a special person like Ryan Bader around you, giving you advice and helping you through this journey?
It's huge, man. Bader's a great friend of mine, and he's a mentor, a training partner. He's the the best version of that, in every way. So I really can't say enough about all that Bader's done for me and my career and who he is as a person.
What did you think when you heard that Tyson Jeffries was going to be your next opponent? And did you also see that Tyson hasn't fought since 2018? What did you make of that?
My first thought was Tyson's got a lot of experience. He's got almost 25 professional fights, and even though he has a lot of losses, that you can't discount cage time experience like that. The fact that he's been off for a few years, I don't know if he was toying around with staying retired or if the plan was always to come back. But that can't be good. I imagine that the time off has rusted him a little bit. I'm sure he's been training, I'm sure in the meantime, but my personal philosophy as a fighter is that guys don't really get better unless they're fighting. It's the combination of training and fighting that really improves you. So I imagine we're probably going to see something pretty similar to how he looked in 2018, although he is bigger now, he's fighting in a bigger weight class.
You look in fantastic shape like always. Cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, Raul Arndt.
What's up, Sullivan? I just wanted to ask what the energy is like heading into your 4th Bellator fight.
I feel more relaxed now than I probably ever have for a professional fight. I'm just getting, even though, I'm fighting a guy with more experience, and I'm just feeling it's like I'm arriving as a this whole process is becoming normal. Everything from, the COVID protocols to the training camps to the nutrition. I'm just getting a little better at it each time, a little more practiced. And I feel great. I'm just excited to fight. It's been a little bit too long since my last one, in my opinion. So it's just really got me chomping at the bit. I don't know if I've ever been this excited to hurt somebody.
And an organization I see that you participate in, the Guardian Revival. Can you just speak on your participation in that organization and why it's so important to you?
So, yeah, I love this country, and I think we all enjoy a lot of privilege in this country. And Guardian Revival focuses on giving back to veterans and first responders, especially in the arena of mental health. And for me to be able to play even a small part in helping some of the people that are so instrumental in allowing us to live the lives that we do, it's incredibly meaningful to me. I'm wearing their shirt right now. The people that run Guardian Revival are veterans themselves, great people, and I just really can't say enough about the organization.
Jay.
Hi, Sullivan. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Your opponent, Tyson Jeffries, being a former welterweight and middleweight, is now moving up 20 pounds to light heavyweight. How do you expect him to approach the fight right from the start?
From what I've seen, he tends to come in a fight. So we don't obsess over what we think Tyson might do. We just prepare for what we want to do and get ready to run our own offense, you know?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ken?
Hello. Hey, Kay Williams for Can Chronicles Media. How's it going? How do you approach this fight mentally? And also, have you studied Jeffery's strengths and weaknesses inside of the cage as of recent?
Yeah, I've definitely studied his most recent fights. So we have a good idea of, you know, his strengths and weaknesses. He's got a little bit of striking. He's got some jiu-jitsu. I don't think his wrestling's great, but you know, you got to be prepared to defend some wrestling, especially if I start cracking him. I mean, he's an experienced guy, and he comes to fight. As far as mentally, my goal is always just to stay relaxed. You know, I don't have any problem firing it up when the fight gets started. For me, it's all about just keeping it chill, staying relaxed. You know, trying not to stress too much over the course of fight week, and then just, you know, trusting that when I get in there, it's gonna pop off, you know.
And I have one more question. And also, can you express on some of your training leading up into this match? Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, I do 8-week camps of just hell for, you know, for 3-round fights, which is, you know, probably not the norm. You know, even in matchups where I'm a heavy favorite to win, I don't leave anything to chance. I treat every fight as if it's the biggest one of my career. And as I've said before, I've been, you know, developing my skills as a fighter. I've also been developing in the sense that I'm just getting better at going through a fight camp. I'm getting better at taking care of my body, getting better at, you know, feeding myself properly. I just feel like this camp has been my best camp by far. I'm in peak shape. My resting heart rate in my sleep is like 30 beats per minute. I'm absolutely dialed in. So I'm gonna bring it.
Right on, Sullivan. Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Eddie?
Hey, good morning, Sullivan. Eddie Law, Cage Side Press. Last 2 fights at home in the Footprint Center in Phoenix. Now you're off to South Dakota.
A lot of friends and family coming. You know, my dad and brother, my girlfriend. We got friends from town, and I think the Baiters are going to be here. I got a lot of people coming, but that, you know, that doesn't really. I just don't think about it. I don't feel like it adds that much pressure to me. I mean, losing is not, you know, an option in any of these fights. It's a possibility, but you know, it's important to me that I win each and every one of these, and that brings pressure. But I'm getting so good at being confident in my skill set and my abilities. I've proven, you know, to myself and to everybody else that I can fight, and you know, I feel good.
All right, best of luck. Thank you.
Thanks. Good.
Made a quick change. Now we're going to Steve Mowry next. Please raise your hand if you have any questions. Santiago.
Hi, Steve. Thank you for the time as always. How did your camp go at Killcliff FC? And did you do a lot of work with the Dutch master Henry Hooft?
Oh, I can never get away from Henry Hooft. every time I get ready to ride out, I make sure to get in touch with Henry. He makes me sharp, does all that, gives me all that good Dutch, the good touch beats, and then we get ready to ride out.
Yeah, we're famous for that. You are 5-0 inside the Bellator cage with 5 finishes, and you looked happy while performing. How have you experienced your time with the company thus far?
Yeah, they've been great. Ever since I signed on with them, they've, took a big chance on me and took a big chance on them, and business has been great.
Did you get any confirmation by the company that if you win this fight, a title shot is next, maybe somewhere in the beginning of 2023? Because if you beat the number 1 guy, you become the number 1 guy, right?
I mean, that's the thinking, but honestly, I'm just so focused on what's coming up. No, I didn't get any confirmation, so.
Did you watch Moldavsky's last fight against Ryan Bader for the undisputed title? And what did you make of that performance by Moldavsky?
I sure did. I thought that was a great performance. I mean, it was obviously very competitive, very back and forth. But I think if I were going to score that fight, I probably would have given it to Moldovsky.
Cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you so much. Go to Doc.
Tyler.
Hey, Steve. We talked a couple weeks ago about your opponent, and I just want to get an update on kind of your reads on your opponent. I know you said that, they come from that Fedor camp, so they all kind of have that similar style.
Yeah, they're all very nice. They're very stoic. They come hard. They come fast. They're well-rounded. It's going to be a great challenge, and I'm looking forward to meeting it.
Thank you.
Jay.
Hi, Steve. Thank you very much for joining us today.
No problem. Thank you.
One of your teammates and training partners, Linton Vassell, faced Valentin Moldovsky just over 3 years ago. How much of an influence has he had on this camp for you?
In the sense that, in the sense that he was a good body for Moldovsky. No, not really. Linton's obviously much bigger, much longer. But in the sense that, he was able to give me a good push. He was able to show me, different things, help me out in different positions. He's huge. Linton's a good friend and a good teammate. And whether he has, a direct influence on the training for the actual matchup, or it's just a thing where we're in the gym pushing each other, making each other better, in less nominal ways, Linton's phenomenal. Very grateful for Linton.
Thank you very much.
Ken?
Hey, Mowry, K. Williams for Can Chronicles Media. In terms of difficulty, where do you rank your next fight?
He is far and away the toughest opponent I've ever had.
In terms of what exactly? You mind
In
expressing
terms of
on that, please?
everything. He's a guy that's been there. He's done that. He's fought the best guys. So not just like on a an experience level or whatever, but also on an experience, or rather in the sense that, he's very skilled. He has a skill set that a lot of people just haven't been able to get around. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to going in there and figuring him out.
Good luck in the cage. Thank you for your time.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Eddie?
Hey there, Eddie Law, Cage Side Press. 10-0, and you're taking on somebody who just fought for the belt. Are you thinking with a win here that your name should be right there for a shot at the title next?
I mean, that probably would be the thought process, but honestly, I'm just so focused on what's going to have to happen Friday that I haven't ascribed too much to it.
All right, thank you so much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Now we have Josh Hill. Santiago, we'll start with you.
Hi, Josh. Thank you for the time. A lot of people are surprised that you are not fighting someone who was kicked out of the bantamweight tournament. Was there a fight with someone planned, and because of a pullout, now it's suddenly Marcos Breno?
No, I asked for somebody. I asked for somebody in the top 10, and they told me nobody's available right now. So I don't know. I said I like to fight somebody ahead of me in the rankings, even though I know the rankings don't really mean a whole lot. But yeah, I don't know what happened. They said everybody's either matched up or unavailable or still suspended. So they gave me Matos. They said that was the only one available. And I said, okay, well, I don't want to wait till October or November to fight, so I'll take it. And then Matos pulled out, and now I'm with Breno. So that's kind of how it played out.
He has a pretty good record. What did you make of him? Did you study him? Did you see a lot of tape on him?
Yeah. Once the opponent switch, I looked him up, and yeah, he's good. He's an aggressive up and comer, good record, coming off a good win. So I think he's a dangerous opponent, and he's going to look to try to come in hot and make a statement and try to use me and my name. So yeah, that's what I prepared for. But I think between the two, Matos and Brenos, I think they were pretty similar stylistically. So it wasn't a huge adjustment as far as preparation.
Can you feel it as well, Josh, that it's going to be a big night for Canada with you and Aaron Jeffery, who are both coming off a big finish win in your last fight?
Yeah, that's cool. We and Aaron were talking about a month ago. You're saying like it'd be pretty sweet if something happened and you got to come onto my card, and that's exactly how it played out, even with the opponent with Vanderford. So yeah, I haven't had an opponent, a teammate on the same card as me in a long time. So it'll be fun. It'll be good to have somebody alongside me going through the same journey.
Cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you.
Tyler?
Hey Josh, how you doing? I just wanted to get your thoughts on the Bantamweight Grand Prix. It's obviously going on right now, and you face Stotts. So I'm wondering, who do you have in the Sabatello Stotts matchup?
Yeah, it's a good fight. You know, I think Stotts. I'm gonna pick Stotts with this. I think he'll be able to nullify the wrestling of Sabatello. And you know, I think he's more well-rounded of the two. I think he's got a better striking, better grappling, and I think he blends things together better. So yeah, I picked Stotts to win that one.
And so with a win this upcoming card, where do you see yourself kind of going? Where are your next steps after this?
Yeah, with the Grand Prix and everything, it kind of, you know, holds things up a little bit, right? But you know, I'm focusing on this one for sure. And that's my main, you know, center of focus right now is just getting through this and beating Breno. But you know, they got to give me somebody that's ahead of me, you know, in the rankings, even though, like I said, they don't really mean a whole lot. But yeah, somebody that's gonna, you know, put me right up in that title contention again. So we'll see kind of how it plays out over the next, you know, couple months. I don't know when they are set to do the semis. So I would imagine probably October, November, I would assume. So yeah, we'll just kind of see how it plays out.
Thank you for your time and good luck on your fight.
Thank you.
Raul?
What's up, Josh? I just wanted to ask real quick how the experience has been with you and Aaron Jeffery going to all of these restaurants and not being able to eat any of the food.
It's been fun because I got somebody else that's suffering with me. Usually just me, but we do that to ourselves. We kind of torture ourselves. I don't know why, but yeah, always fight week. We I mean, at least for me, I always end up watching the Food Network and just, you know, salivating over things that I can't wait to eat. Yesterday we were at a cookie place, just looking at things that we want to eat. But yeah, it's fun to have somebody that you know, a friend of yours, a teammate of yours that's going through it too. So it's been good.
And another thing I saw on your social media, are you planning on wearing your great uncle's jacket?
You know what? We'll see. We'll see. You're gonna have to watch, see if I can bust that out and wear it out. Yeah, it's you know, everybody here when I brought it out was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" So it was a big hit. So you know, I think I'm gonna have to continue doing it. It wasn't actually his that same jacket. I just tried to find one that was as similar as possible. I'm you know, that thing's from the 70s. I don't know where that would be right now, but yeah, it's been a big hit so far. So I think I gotta keep it going.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jason?
Hey, what's up, Josh? Josh, obviously, you know, a change in opponent for you. How did that affect anything, or was it just business as normal for you, man?
Hello, Jason.
Hello, Josh.
No, man, dude, it wasn't a big change. Like I said, you know, another Brazilian, and I think very similar style. You know, both are good strikers that like to strike more so, but have good grappling as well. So yeah, it wasn't like a huge change up with, you know, maybe like somebody that's coming in that's a tall, long southpaw or something like that. It was a pretty similar matchup, so not a big adjustment.
And as well, back to the jacket, because yes, that is definitely a hit. What was the thought process on getting something like that done? Because we've known about your lineage with your great uncle, John Hill, the former Jerry Valiant, but what was the process of getting that put together?
It was just something I thought of one day. We were looking at old pictures and I saw that and I'm like, this is pretty flashy and out there. And so I was like, you know, it'd be kind of cool to do something like that. And I just kind of searched online and found the closest looking replica that I could find. And here we are.
Have you talked to Morrow about the jacket? Has he seen the photos?
I haven't talked to Mowry yet. I haven't seen him. So I look forward to his thoughts on this, because I know every time I talk to him, it's always about, you know, him seeing, watching my great uncle wrestle live when he was a kid. So it would be a good conversation.
And lastly, obviously, you're ranked number 9 in the bantamweight division. Do you feel a little bit disrespected? Obviously, you're supposed to be a part of the qualifying fights for the Grand Prix, and now do you feel like you need to have another big performance here to continue to get, I guess, some respect on your name here in Bellator?
I mean, what are you going to do? I think you always need a big performance every single fight. It doesn't really matter who I'm facing, or whether I'm facing a number 2 ranked guy or an unranked guy or whatever. But yeah, it sucks what happened. I couldn't get into the tournament like planned. This is where we're at. And yeah, I get a win here. And like I said, it should shoot me, up amongst the ranks even higher, because a lot of guys are going to start dropping out too from the Grand Prix as they finish things up there. So it doesn't matter. Every opponent, like I said, this division is so stacked, dude. It's they should have a top 20 really. They could, or easily a top 15. So every guy in that top 15 is tough. So yeah, it doesn't matter.
Best of luck on fight night, Josh.
Thanks, buddy.
Ken?
Jay Williams for Can Chronicles Media. How are you, Josh?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So physically, you match up against your opponent pretty evenly as far as physical stature. But what advantages do you think you're going to have in the cage over him on that night?
I think I'm the more well-rounded of the two, and I think I'll bring in the experience factor. I've had more fights, and I've fought bigger names and higher opposition. And I think fight IQ. I think I'm the smarter fighter. I put things together better, set better traps, and I think that's will be the difference maker.
Thank you for your time. Good luck.
Thank you.
That concludes our time. We'll be joined next by Aaron Jeffery. We are now joined by Aaron Jeffery. Santiago.
Hi, Aaron. Thank you for the time. In MMA, sometimes these things happen that suddenly you're in a fight with the guy who challenged for the title not that long ago. What was your reaction when this fight with Vanderford was offered to you?
I was excited, man. I talked about this fight before to my managers, and when we heard somebody was injured and they needed a fill-in spot, they called me right away and they said, "Hey, were you serious about that fight?" And I said, "Yeah, for sure." And they said, "Well, things are in the works," and here we are just a few days later. So I'm pretty pumped.
There are 2 Canadians on this card, you and Josh Hill. Can you feel it as well, Aaron, that it's going to be a big night for your country?
For sure, yeah. And Josh Hill's one of my buddies. We trained together a bunch over the last few years. So yeah, I'm pumped for both of us.
What did you think when you watched Austin's last fight against the former champion Gegard Mousasi? Because he came out wild and aggressive from the start, and it ultimately cost him. Do you think he will do something like that on Friday as well?
I'm sure he's worked on some of his mistakes and doesn't want to do that again. But yeah, he's an aggressive guy. He comes out strong. He throws heavy. He shoots his takedowns fast. So yeah, I definitely expect a strong start from him.
Cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you, man.
Tyler.
Hey, how you doing, Aaron? So with dealing with such an elite wrestler like Vanderford, how do you have you brought in anybody kind of similar to his style to try to get his pace down?
Well, I only had like 8 days notice for this fight, so there wasn't a whole lot of bringing anyone in or anything like that. But no, I train at a gym with like some of the top wrestlers in Canada. Brock University is the school where a bunch of the wrestlers were from. They've been the #1 team in Canada for like 8 years. I got a bunch of guys in my weight class. There's a heavyweight that I work with. So I have strong wrestlers that I work with week after week all through the years. So I feel prepared for this for sure.
And with a win over Austin, this will put you really right into the mix of that top 10 in this division. So what are your thoughts on kind of how this will place you?
Yeah, I don't know how that works out. Rankings are kind of subjective always, right? So I don't know if I beat him, am I #2 right away, or do they just kind of slot me somewhere in? Like, do I become #5 or #6 and he's behind me? I don't know. I just got to win this fight, and then I guess we'll find out.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
Raul.
What's up, Aaron? So in an earlier interview, you said skill set, you think you match up very well with Austin. Can I just get maybe why you feel this way?
Yeah, like I just said earlier, I train with the top wrestlers in my country. I think my defensive wrestling is like one of my strongest parts of my skill set. I think I got the gas tank to match his, the physicality. Yeah, I just think I can kind of beat him in the places where he wants to beat me. And I think I maybe have a couple advantages over him in like clinch and striking.
Yeah, and you just touched on it. You found out about this fight with 8 days to prepare. In a perfect world, do you wish you were getting more time to prepare for this fight and this matchup?
Honestly, not really. I don't think it matters a whole lot. Like I said, I'm training with wrestlers all the time, so it's kind of the perfect fight for me. If it was like a specialist striker, that's a different story because I don't train with those types of guys too often. But no, like a lot of the guys I train with, I spar with, are shooting at my hips all the time. So this is a good fight for me for short notice.
And last one for me, I've been seeing that you've been enjoying South Dakota with Mr. Hill. How hard is it seeing all this food and not being able to eat it? I know a server at a restaurant was very disappointed in your order. Maybe you want to talk about that?
Oh, dude, it was funny. So yeah, we're at the restaurant. My coach orders like a salad, but it's a meal. So it was kind of a reasonable order, but we're at like an Irish pub. So he probably wants us to eat like bangers and mash or steak and potatoes or something. Josh Hill orders a chicken breast and a side of steamed vegetables. And then I just ordered a side salad, and the guy starts kind of shaking his head. He's like, okay, what do you want for dressing? I'm like, can you just give me like olive oil on the side? And he goes, olive oil on the side. Okay. And he walks away. And yeah, I don't think he was too thrilled with any of us. He probably wanted us to drink and give him a bigger tip or something.
My man, thank you. Good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
Mills.
Hey, how's it going, Aaron? It's MMA Locker Room, part of Puff Sports Radio.
Hey, man.
How's it going, man? Hey, so yeah, what's the main thing that you would give some advice to the fighters out there to always be ready for the opportunity, given that you just got this opportunity within the last 8 days? Because, you know, you got some people out there, they don't live in the gym, but being a true mixed martial artist it's always about being ready when you get that opportunity, right?
For sure, man. Yeah, I mean, you got to stay ready all the time. Like, you can't be in training camp mode year round. You got to take some breaks and let the body rest a little bit. But I mean, you don't want to be out of the gym for weeks and weeks at a time and putting on 30 pounds and getting drunk and being lazy in between fights, because then these opportunity comes up and guys can't take it, right? Like, they can't make the weight, or they just don't feel prepared for the fight. Yeah, man, like it's your profession. So you got to be a professional and do it year round.
Got it. Yeah, especially, man, coming off your last fight too, getting that finish, you know, definitely turned some heads in there, had some money on you in that fight as well. But this fight, I actually think, you know, your opportunities are going to, you know, give you actually the same opportunities that got Gegard Mousasi, the opportunities to put him out night, sleep. Any predictions for us to come up this Friday? Because I'm actually putting money on you, and I'm thinking you're going to win inside the distance.
I would love to put him out night, sleep.
Dylan Boker.
Hey there, Aaron. I appreciate you making some time.
Of course.
I'm just curious because, like, I know how much, like, family and, like, just imparting that pride towards them through your pursuits is so important to you. Is any family going to be checking out this one? I know your brother was cage side for the debut, but maybe not because of the short notice.
Yeah, no, they won't be here. My girlfriend's here with me. She's at all my fights, so that's super important. But no, my family actually just traveled down to visit me. They live like 17 hours north, and they're all at my mom's place right now. So they won't be here for this, but it's going to be nice because after the fight, I'll be able to take a bit of time off and spend some time with them, which I don't get to do too often.
Yeah, and I'm kind of wondering, like, just the corner dynamics for this one. Are we expecting Chris Prickett and Lyndon Whitlock to be cornering you for this one too?
Yep, those are the two.
Awesome. And then just lastly for me, because I noticed you shared a clip a little bit ago that kind of illustrated in multiple fights you've gotten very similar finishes as compared to the last one there. Do you feel like that's just a testament to your work ethic and how much time you put into this, or is it just circumstance? You saw the opening in multiple fights.
I think a little bit of both. Like I said, I'm always training hard year round. I'm always ready. I think that's kind of my style. Like I said, my defensive wrestling is good. My clinch work is good. And yeah, I would love to do that again in this fight. Kind of stuff some shots, beat him up on the wall, and get a finish there.
Dylan Rush.
Hey, Jay. I'm wondering, was there any hesitation when you got this call? Any slight hesitation?
No, not on my end at all. I checked in with my coaches to make sure they like to fight. They were both all for it. And yeah, we said yes probably within 10 or 20 minutes of the offer.
And is there any added pressure or is there any less pressure in a short notice fight, or are all fights the same?
That's a good question. I don't know. There's definitely more pressure just because of who it is. Maybe then kind of a little bit less just because maybe like I'm expected to lose if it's short notice or something and he's ranked and I'm not. But no, all fights kind of feel the same once you're in there.
And then lastly, what would this win do for you and your career here in Bellator?
I think it's going to do a lot, man. I think it will definitely put my name on the map. I think it's going to put me in the rankings and just kind of get more eyes on me, more attention, maybe even more money in my pocket.
Thank you, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
That concludes our time. Up next, we have Pat Downey. We have Pat Downey, Santiago.
Hi, Pat. Welcome to Bellator MMA. How are you experiencing your first fight week in a major MMA promotion?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm loving it. It's a cool experience. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of obligations between medicals and media obligations and whatnot, but that's what I signed up for, right? It's what we get paid to do, and I'm having a fun time doing it. It doesn't feel like a job, so Bellator staff's really good to work with, and training's going good, so I feel prepared coming into it this week. Just kind of getting this last weight cut in and tapering off. We got weigh-ins early, so I'm chilling.
Were you thinking about transitioning to MMA for a long time? And what did you think when you heard that Bellator was interested in signing you?
Yeah, it was never a matter of if I was going to do MMA. For me, it was always a matter of when am I doing MMA. So I've been known, you know what I mean? I love fighting, watching it, doing it. So it's always been a transition of mine that was going to be made. But yeah, to answer your second question, I just wanted to see how much I was going to get paid. I was, you know what I mean, trying to fight to change my life out here. So Bellator, Mr. Coker gave me this opportunity. I'll jump right on it.
Did you do your camp at Kill Cliff FC, which was previously known as Sanford MMA, of course?
No, training down in Miami, City Boy Combat Club, based out of Fight Sports, the Brazilians, Wagner Rocha, and Cyborg's gym. I also train at Wagner's gym up in Hollywood, Florida. But and then KO Zone, with me, Luis Pena, we lived together, kind of training out of Little Haiti. I was at Sanford for a while. That's up in Deerfield, and I kind of had some personal shit happen, and moved to Miami, and just haven't been able to make my way up to Sanford. It's nothing again, or Killcliff now. It's nothing. It's not that I'm not with them guys anymore. I just haven't had the means and the transportation to make training together happen, which I'll be looking at getting back in there in the future.
I'm looking forward to see you in the cage. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thanks, bud.
Raul?
What's up, Lizard King? I just wanted to ask real quick, what happened to the Instagram?
You know, these fucking liberals hate me, man. They're goddamn. I've been trying to cancel the kid. I don't know. Gordon Ryan reported me. USA's probably still reporting me. They're probably hating to see me bounce back. You know what I mean? You got haters. They're just confused fans. I mean, and I do be frying people in the comment section. I'm not gonna lie. You come up on my page with some hate and negativity, I'm clapping back and like giving it to you 10 times worse. So I just don't think the liberals like what I got to say when I'm defending my name, and that ain't no problem. They don't want me on their app. It is what it is.
Well, I hope to see you there back soon. I just want to ask, what are the nerves heading into your debut with a major promotion?
I guess the nerves with the major promotion, it's a thing, right? More eyes on you and stuff. But I think the nerves are really coming from myself. You know, I hold myself to a high standard, and I'm doing this new career. I gotta prove it to myself, right? That I do belong here, that I do like this sport, that I am an MMA fighter, and just to get the cobwebs out, you know, and actually say I do the damn sport. I guess it is some butterflies, some pressure, whatever, nerves, whatever you want to call it. But I like it, man. Ain't nothing else I could be doing to make me feel this alive, you know?
So you tweeted 2 weeks ago that I'm going to make sure y'all feel me. What exactly do you have planned for Friday night?
I'm going to make sure y'all feel that performance. Y'all going to tune in. Y'all going to see me. You're going to be like, damn, boy's here to stay. You know what I mean? You're going to see a dominant, world-class athlete free. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let it out tomorrow, Friday, excuse me.
And last one for me, heading into your pro debut, what is it you want to be remembered as a mixed martial artist?
I just want to kind of make an impact. So I am memorable, right? I feel like that's half the battle in this game. Doing something that was memorable, you know, which you see the way I wrestle, you'll see it's not going to be hard to make y'all feel me. y'all gonna remember this performance. You know what I mean? So just tune in. I've always been known to be entertaining.
Best of luck, Lizard King.
Thanks, man.
Tyler?
Hey, Pat. Thanks for taking the time. In your opinion, what really makes like the transition from freestyle wrestling to MMA? There's a lot of guys who do that. So what is your opinion on why it transitions really well into MMA?
Well, I got something I say. It's called wrestling wins fights. I believe wrestling to be, if you're building like a pyramid or have a base, I believe the base of wrestling is the best for fighting. And I say this because it determines where the fight takes place. Meaning if you're out striking me, a wrestler has the opportunity to take it down, and vice versa. If you're out grappling me, the wrestler can defend the takedown and keep it up. So that's my theory of why it transitions so well. I mean, really, if you can wrestle, you can control another human. So, and look at the success. I mean, to your point, look at the background of everybody that's been or is champions. You know, a lot of them have wrestling. I don't know no numbers stat, but I'm sure if we did a breakdown, I bet that would be the most common background.
And you're talking about that you want to make a big statement. Would a big statement be a knockout win for you, or would a big statement win be out wrestling him from bell to bell?
Yeah, a big statement wouldn't entail out wrestling him the whole time. that wouldn't really do much for me. A knockout would be a big statement, though. A cool slam to a kill would be a big statement. Submissions showing jiu-jitsu would be a big statement. I think anything that shows what y'all don't already know is going to say something.
Thank you for your time and good luck on your fight.
Thank you.
Dylan?
Hey, Pat, thanks for taking the time. You mentioned Violent Bob Ross. He's there with you this week. How has that experience been living with Luis Pena?
Oh, man. We're like two peas in a pod. Different mothers, different fathers, but that's my brother. You know what I mean? And I say something that's like imitation is the greatest form of flattery. It's not by coincidence that we're together. You know what I mean? You guys be in the media know his situation and his level. And that's who I chose to come have down with me as part of my camps, training partner, roommate, et cetera, et cetera. It's by design, you know? So it's been great having a like-minded individual around me the whole time and somebody that I'm truly comfortable with that I know has got my back and vice versa. He knows I got his back. Shit pops off. You can believe we're scrapping together. You know what I mean? So it's just, and he's a high-level body, a high-level mind. So, it's definitely by plan. You know, it's not no coincidence we're together here.
And you've alluded to the storied success that wrestlers have had within the realm of mixed martial arts. Is there any wrestler that's jumped into this sport that has inspired you that you look to emulate in your own game?
Oh, hell yeah. Pick any of the champs that come from Iowa Central. John Jones, Cain Velasquez, Colby Covington, Phil Halls. Not to mention, you know, I'm 30 making my debut just like Daniel Cormier was. And then, you know, not somebody I necessarily want to emulate, but you got Ben Askrens and Henry Cejudo's. And, you know, I'm not necessarily their fans or going to be imitating them, but I mean, the list goes on. It's been like, you know, when you see all these high level guys and like living at the Olympic Training Center with Kamaru Usman, training with him every day and going to see his success, it's hard not to believe that you can do at least the same as them because, you know what I mean? Look, I mean, I can wrestle and my style of wrestling, I feel like it's perfectly in the MMA. So it's pretty cool. It's cool to have these guys and kind of follow their path.
And I see the word love tattooed on your knuckles. Is the objective to punch people with love during your fights?
No, my hands is like they say love life, and I think it's just a message to myself and others. There's way too much hate out there. Y'all, we alive and we living. You know what I mean? Love life.
And then lastly, it seems like you're really excited to get on this new journey to get into MMA, but what's been the worst part of the job so far?
Can you ask the question again?
I said you seem really excited to get into the realm of mixed martial arts, but what has been the worst part of the job so far? You said that media is an obligation, so maybe talking to us is the worst part so far?
Nah, the medical shit, man. Getting blood and eyes and just all the hoops. You know, you got to do this, that, the third, just to be allowed to get into that cage. And you know, cutting weight's never fun. There's a few things that aren't that glorified in this job. I'll give it that.
Thank you, man. Good luck, brother.
Thanks.
Jay?
Hi, Pat. How's things with you?
Good, man. Good. Just getting ready to make weight. About to get a nice weight cut in after we're done here.
My question for you is, heading into your professional MMA debut, did you ever consider having at least one amateur MMA fight first?
No, because I was wrestling at such a high level and grappling at such a high level that you can't get me to fight for free. I'm a thoroughbred. I'm a racehorse. You know, I don't run for free.
Thanks, Pat.
Mills?
Hey, what's going on, Pat? It's MMA Locker Room, part of Puff Sports Radio.
What's up, man?
Nothing much, man. I'm loving the vibe, man. Loving the swag, loving the attitude that you're carrying right now. And it seems like, you know, a lot of the wrestlers right now are making that jump over to MMA. You know, you got Bo Nickel coming over, doing impressive things with that other organization. But you made this decision to come over to Bellator and pretty much put your name on the map over here. What made you pick Bellator over those other organizations? Or is it just because you're a prize fighter and they're paying you pretty much the biggest prize?
Well, I'd be lying if I didn't say that's one thing. So let's just first and foremost, Bellator is the one cutting the check for the debut. So, of course, I'm going to go where the money is. Secondly, I don't feel like they have a good face at middleweight. You know, I don't know. Maybe y'all do like the face at middleweight, but I think mine will look a lot better. So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is just where I felt wanted. I actually felt like appreciated. Like I was bringing my talents to somewhere where they were like, they cared. You know, I mean, credit to these other guys for making the transition, you know, being high level wrestlers. It's not easy to go in there and put yourself back as a white belt. So I know the lumps they're taking, but at the same time, we all got our own path. And I'm just doing the road that I'm on. You know, I mean, I've never been a follower.
Yes, sir, man. I'm gonna be looking for you this Friday, man. Looking for that debut. Shout out to Violent Bob Ross too.
Hell yeah, thanks, bro.
That concludes our time. Up next, we have Goiti Yamauchi. Up next is Goiti Yamauchi. Santiago.
Hi, Goiti. Thank you for the time. You have been with the promotion since 2013. Your 9-year anniversary is almost coming up, and Bellator has kept you very active for those years. How have you experienced this time in a major promotion like Bellator MMA?
I'm very excited, and at the same time, I'm very prepared. You know, I have a lot of experience here in Bellator, but I think this is the time that I feel matured enough to make a main event and sure win the fight. That's what matters. There's you know, it's very meaningful for me, not just for me, for all my team, making this main event, not just the main event, but against Neiman. This opponent is very meaningful for me too. So I'm very excited.
Welterweight is one of, and maybe even the most stacked division in Bellator MMA. How long were you thinking about moving up to this exciting division?
I think lightweight and welterweight, they're the hardest division, the hardest weight class in MMA. So I'm moving up. I used to fight tough guys in lightweight, and it's the same thing in the welterweight, but I'm a little bit more like happier and healthier this time.
Yeah, you look happy. Neiman had a tough fight in his last fight when he stepped in the cage against Logan Storley. Did you watch that fight, and what did you make of his performance?
Yes, it did. They fought a good fight. It was a war, but they didn't grapple. It was just a stand-up fight, and I thought it was really good. Even though those guys, they're nice strikers, they made a really good job. And I'm excited to see what he has to bring.
So a lot of people think, Goiti, that in this fight between you and him, kind of the same thing is going to happen. Good jiu-jitsu against good jiu-jitsu. So are we going to see a mainly stand-up battle, do you think?
Well, I hate to predict fights. I really hate to predict fights because I'm not good at it. I'm not my predictions are very bad. But I think and at some point of the fight we will grapple, and if he wants to stand up, good. I'm ready to fight on the feet, but I'm a natural born grappler, so I'm ready to grapple with him.
Cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Jay?
Hi, Goiti. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
You have the most submission wins in the history of Bellator MMA with 9 submissions. Is there a certain finish that really stands out to you?
Well, I think people don't believe me, but you know, this last year I've been training a lot of grappling, but before that I don't used to train a lot of grappling. So I had a big jiu-jitsu background back in the days. I was like almost 100% grappler, but you know, it's a really, like I said, it's very meaningful for me fighting against the Gracie, and sure, I want to test myself in the ground against Neiman.
Thank you very much.
Dylan?
Hey, Goiti, thanks for taking the time. The other reporter just mentioned you hold the record for most submissions in Bellator history. Do you get excited when you attain these accolades, or you just solely focus on securing wins?
Exactly. I'm just focused in the win. No matter how I'm going to win, no matter how many time we're going to take, I'm just go out there and get the win. This is what matters. This is what you know, this is all about competition. Competition. The only thing that matters in competition is win the fight. So, of course, I like to finish my fights in the ground because, you know, I don't like to hurt my opponents. But this is the tough business. This is MMA. We hurt each other. If we have to go to the battle to you know, to cut each other, to punch each other, I know I'll have to do it. I have no problem to do it. But like I said, what matters to me is the competitive part of the game, and that's the win. You got to win the game.
And you've earned stoppages at featherweight, lightweight, and now welterweight under the Bellator banner. Do you ever miss having to cut that extra weight, or are you most happy here at 170?
Way better now. 170. This is my weight class. I'm not cutting less. I got bigger. You know, real weight, like muscles, not fat. I don't like to be a fat guy in the off season. And welterweight, it don't make me, you know, gets lazy or something, and just I work even harder. But now with health, I'm healthier. I can get some quality muscles, and I'm still cutting, but like I said, way happier and stronger.
And lastly, this deep into your career, are fight weeks a little less nerve-wracking, or are the nerves all the same as they were when you first got started here in Bellator?
Way different. I was talking about it with my team, and a lot of things has been changed, and you know, the experience leads you to understand this kind of this feeling of nervous. And the good thing is, you know, Friday is going to be one of the most important days of my life, and I'm so prepared for that day. I don't feel nervous, pressured at all. I'm not just ready. I'm actually more relaxed than any fights that I did in my life. So that's good. I think that's my moment. Like I said, I don't feel nervous and pressured at all. I just feel relaxed, and I know I belong to this level.
Good luck, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Danny?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep.
So you mentioned that this fight is very meaningful. Can you expand on what this fight means for you, and why is it special than others? Because you have like over 30 fights.
Yeah. First of all, I'm fighting my first main event, my first 5 rounds. That's really meaningful. Now, you know, I think everybody that makes a main event in a big promotion, they, you know, it's a very special moment. But what really makes important and meaningful, it's fighting against a guy who come from the family that made us work here. Gracie family, they're so important to me, not just for me, but for all the fight community. that I feel like there's something meaningful in this fight. I when we make a deal to fight Neiman, I was thinking about the very beginning of my career and the first time that I watched Goiti Gracie, Rickson Gracie. Then I thought, well, it must be a meaning on that. And I think this is, yeah, I will I will find it Friday night. What is the meaning of that? But I think it's a really good thing. But yeah, my first main event, 5 rounds against the Gracie, and I feel like this is really I'm on my prime.
And you're a very well-rounded fighter, but you've mainly stood out due to your superb jiu-jitsu, and obviously we know the prestige that comes in the grappling community with the name of Gracie, and you've mentioned that. Do you want to take the fight to the ground? Do you want to test your grappling against Neiman's? Is that something that you look forward to?
I would love, but it's not a matter of I never see the fight game like I want to test myself. I want to, it would be too stupid if I do that just for my ego or something. Like I said before, I'm going to win the fight. If I had to fight 5 rounds in the ground, I'm good. If I had to go 5 rounds in the striking, I'm also pretty good and comfortable. It's all about taking the right opportunities. Don't make mistakes. Make him make a lot of mistakes and take that chance that holes and take advantage of it. This is my mentality for this fight. Take advantage and make him make a lot of mistakes. That's the plan. That doesn't matter where it's going to happen the fight.
And last one for me. You mentioned how you feel in your prime. You're just 29 years old. You have a world of experience. And through 155, you've gone on these really good stretches. But every time that you sort of had to take the big step up that's going to get you right a title shot or put you right there, you've come up short. Do you feel like 170, the move to 170 plus all the lessons that you've been through in the past years, do you feel like this is all leading to maximize your full potential and one day seeing Goiti in a title shot, in a title fight here in Bellator at 170 pounds?
Yeah, sure. Those things that happen to me is, there's, like I said, it has to have some reason, and I'm good with that. Even those fights that I clearly got robbed, I'm good with that. And I don't have nothing to complain about. I'm just good with it. I think 170 is a good opportunity to prove that I was doing something wrong, especially with the weight. Like I said, I feel so good and strong and even faster in this weight. So health is not everything, but everything is nothing without health, and that's a good thing to me. Becoming a healthier person, a healthier fighter, makes me a better athlete. So I think this time I can work on my full potential and correct all my mistakes that I've done in my past fights.
Thank you. Best of luck on Friday. Looking forward to the fight.
Jason?
Hey, Goiti. First of all, what does it mean for you as well to this being your first main event, especially for someone being a longtime fighter for Bellator?
Well, it means a lot. It means a lot. Fighting a main event of a big promotion that's like it's like a prime for any athlete in this sport. So it's a pleasure. I see it as a big opportunity. I'm so honored to make part of it. And like I said before, not don't feel pressure at all. Don't feel uncomfortable at all. I'm just good and happy to make it, and I'm sure that I'm 100% confident that I'm gonna win this fight.
And as well, not only with it being a main event, but now that the main events for Bellator are 5-minute rounds, does that excite you? Do you feel that like that gives you an advantage to push the fight into deep waters where Neiman's already had that experience?
Yeah, my coach, I was said to me, even when I was a kid, you was born to make 5 rounds. I'm a 5 rounds fighter. I think 3 rounds is not too much to me. Conditioning, the gas tank, it was never a problem to me. So even because I'm jiu-jitsu fighter, so I need time. Time, it's more important than intensity to me. So I will use my coach's words. I was born to make 5 rounds, so I'm very excited.
And last thing for me, Goiti, obviously, you've been on quite a hot streak. It seems like what's been the biggest turning point for you? Is it moving up in weight class, or is it just finding a new confidence in MMA because you've been on the best run of your career?
Yeah, not just the weight class, but a lot of things changed in my personal life, not just my personal life, but my own mentality. It changed a lot. You get really when you get older, you're started to realize that you know nothing. That's what I realized a couple of years ago, and I started to push myself in a different ways, not push myself and physically, but mentally. That's what matters. That's what it's all about. MMA, MMA, it's a mental game. So in training camp has changed a little bit. I got more partners today. The way I train, it's a way better than I used to. So yeah, not just the moving up to the weight class, but I made a lot of change in my in my professional life, but also in my personal and mentality.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Goiti. Best of luck Friday.
Thank you so much, sir.
Paul?
Hello, thank you. Paul Casanova, EDF Sports. You just touched on it a little bit, and we've talked about how you've been there for 9 years and all. Can you talk a little bit about your training and how it's changed over this time? And did you do anything different considering the importance of this fight?
Yeah. When I thought that I changed something in my training camp, one thing that I changed is having a good times. Not just good time training, but outside the gym. Make some fun. And the most important thing that I learned in the last year is recovery. When we are young, we don't care about it, But as long as you keep developing your skills and your mental game, you need to recover. I realized that when I properly recovery, I'm just another fighter. I made movements that I never did in my life just because there's a huge science behind the recovery. So I've been thinking about it in the last year, and I applied for this camp, and I felt like I never felt before. I'm so strong and ready for this fight.
Thank you and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Goichi. That concludes our time. Up next, we have Valentin Moldovsky.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Now we have Valentin Moldovsky. Jay, we'll start with you.
Hi, Valentin. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Hi.
Considering your opponent's tall and long frame, have you been able to train with fighters who replicate Steve Mowry's style?
Something sparring partner, yes. Have I sparring with Steve Mowry? No, I don't have. No, I don't have sparring partner like him. He to my training camp must come two guys who tall like him, but he can't, and that's why I don't have sparring partner at all.
Thank you very much. All the best for the fight.
Thank you.
Santiago.
Hi, Valentin. Thank you for the time. How did your camp go at Team Fedor, and what did Master Fedor told you after your last fight against Ryan Bader, which was very close?
What say Fedor about fight Ryan Bader? Yes.
Yes.
He say I fight very bad because I must win more, not close, more houses word, more powerful, like this. That's why he say I fight bad.
Your opponent, Steve Mowry, has not faced the kind of competition that you already faced, and this fight with you is a big step up for him. Do you think the company is giving Mowry more than he can handle with this fight against you?
I don't understand what you say. I say I need a translator. One more, say please, but not.
Yeah. Steve Mowry, your opponent, he has not fight with a lot of ranked fighters yet, and now he's going to fight against you, the number one. Do you think it's too much for him?
I don't know. We will see in fight. He not lose, but he not fight with a good fighter. I don't see good fighter who he win. He win a good fighter, one good fighter. I see it's Turkish. He
Sarikam.
Sarikam, but Sarikam cannot wrestling. He only striker. That's why I think he don't have opponents like me.
When do you think we are going to see Master Fedor in the Bellator cage for his last fight? Will it happen this year?
I hope. I hope this year, but it's you see what political situation. That's why I don't know. It's when Bellator can do big tournament. I think Fedor fight in this tournament. Maybe this year, maybe next.
Valentin, your English is perfect, man. I cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you.
Dylan?
It's all what I learned at my village school. It's all my English.
Hey, Valentin. Thanks for taking the time. Your opponent, Steve Mowry, is undefeated in professional MMA. Would victory taste sweeter to take his 0 away from him, or do you not care about his record?
I don't care.
And then your last fight with Bader was very close. How confident were you headed into the announcement of the decision that you had done enough to secure the win?
One more time.
How confident were you that you won that fight before that decision was announced with Bader?
I when over fight with Bader, I know fight very close, but I think when I come to center octagon, I think I win. I think three rounds I win. He win 2 rounds. It's my thinking. But George say another. Mm, I think I must win now this fight, Steve Mowry, and then I think we must fight Bader again.
What did you learn about yourself from that last defeat?
I learn need stop training early because I training very hard and my immunity very after hard training your immunity I don't know this word and that's why when I come to America I 2 days ago to fight I sick and this very bad for me but I think I can fight and this situation that's why I go to fight but another the next fight I be more clever and I stop training early and win I hope.
And then lastly, how are you liking South Dakota? Is it a little bit better than Arizona?
One more time.
South Dakota, the state that you're in right now, is it a little bit better than Arizona? Are you enjoying yourself there?
I don't know. All state America good. Every state where I fight or where I come with my friend to fight, every state like me.
That's a good answer. Thank you, man. Good luck.
Thank you, Valentin. That concludes
That's
our
all.
time. Up next, we have Bruna Ellen.
We'll be joined in just a second with Bruna Ellen. If you have a question, press the raise hand button now. All right, we're now being joined by Bruna Ellen. If you have a question, press the raise hand button. We'll start with Dylan.
Hey Bruna, how you doing? Thanks for taking the time. I was wondering how Michelle Nicolini has influenced you in your MMA career and has helped you during this training camp.
So I will answer in Portuguese and he's helping me. Não, vai. Bom, para esse camp, a Michelle Nicolini, que é 8 vezes campeã mundial, acho que quem é do jiu-jitsu, do mundo da luta, todo mundo conhece um pouquinho dela. Ela me ajudou bastante para esse camp. Não tem nem o que dizer, ela é muito dura, me ajudou muito e me ajudou nessa preparação para todas as áreas da luta.
For this fight, the Nicolini helped me a lot. So everybody from the fighting world know that the Nicolini is a tough fighter. She knows a lot about jiu-jitsu. Helped me with my preparation for this fight. My jiu-jitsu improved a lot. So I'm ready.
And your last fight was a very close split decision win over Yanez. Were there some takeaways from that fight? What did you learn about yourself? And did you notice any areas you wanted to improve your game?
Bom, apesar de ter sido uma decisão dividida, que eu não concordei, eu vim para essa luta muito melhor, tô na melhor fase da minha vida e tô pronta para não deixar nas mãos dos juízes mais.
Besides that, my last fight was a split decision. I learned a lot from that, and on this fight right now, they won't be able to get to this chance to go to the judge. So I'm ready for that.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Santiago.
Olá, Bruna. Boa tarde. Obrigado pelo tempo. I'm going to continue in English now. You have been with Bellator MMA for over 6 years now. How are you experiencing your time in a major MMA promotion?
Sim, tô muito feliz com com o meu tempo aqui no Bellator. Eu tenho certeza que tudo isso serviu para me tornar agora a melhor lutadora que poderia ser. Eu tô na minha melhor fase, graças a todas as minhas experiências aqui, e eu tô pronta para mostrar isso sexta-feira à noite.
I'm very glad from the organization of the Bellator for the 6 years in the organization. Everything that I passed on these 6 years were very exciting for me. I learned a lot, and now I'm on the best of my career, and I'm ready to go to the show.
What was your first reaction when you heard that Bellator wanted to match you up with the former champion of this division?
Eu fiquei muito feliz. É uma grande oportunidade para mostrar que eu tô pronta para uma futura disputa de um title shot.
I was very happy with this announcement, and I know that I need to be prepared, and now I'm here. I'm ready, and I know I got a chance to the championship.
What did you make of Ilima's last performance against Justine Kish?
O que eu achei, né? Bom, senti que ela ficou um pouco frustrada, né, no jogo dela. Mas ela é uma atleta muito dura e eu vim para enfrentar a melhor Ilima que ela pudesse ser dentro do octógono.
She was a little bit frustrated on her game, and now I came here to get her best version.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, Bruna.
Thank you so much.
Good. Raul.
Yeah, I just had a quick one. You've had a lot of fights that have gone to the judges' scorecards. Is it a motivation to get a finish on this one?
Sim, com certeza. Como eu disse, eu tô na melhor fase da minha vida. Já cheguei para lutar com muitas lesões. Hoje em dia eu sou uma lutadora muito melhor pessoalmente, fisicamente, conheço o meu corpo, tenho um time inteiro que tá comigo em todos os momentos. Então, toda vez que eu estiver aqui, eu vou estar 1000%, sem nenhuma lesão. E é isso, acho que essa é a diferença agora. Agora eu tô pronta para não deixar na mão dos juízes.
Now I got a whole different scenario. Now I don't have any kind of injuries. I've been a best phase of my life from my career, my fighting career, my personal life. So everything goes to the right direction by now. I know I'm ready. I got my whole team besides me. So everything that I need, they support me a lot. So I'm ready now.
All right. That concludes our time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Next, we'll be joined by Austin Vanderford.
We are now joined by Austin Vanderford. Santiago, we'll start with you.
Hi, Austin. Thank you for the time. How did your camp go at ATT? And were you back quickly again in the gym after that world title fight in Dublin?
Okay, to answer your latter, I was back right away. I think like within a couple weeks. We spent a little bit of time in Ireland to check things out, drink a few Guinnesses and whatnot, and I was right back to work. But camp went super good. I feel this is the first time I'd say in like a year where I feel like 100% healthy and I feel good and all that. So I'm excited to go out and compete on Friday.
What do you make of Aaron Jeffery taking this fight on 8 days' notice? And were you yourself in a mind state that you didn't want to wait anymore, but just fight this Friday? Because you could have waited for a bigger name opponent, right?
Yeah, but I was going to fight a motherfucker no matter what. So whatever day it was, or whoever was going to step up, that's who I was going to fight. So, of course, waiting for a ranked opponent and whatnot. But Aaron Jeffery's a really good fighter, and I had pictured myself fighting him at some point, whether it was sooner or later, and he might not have a number next to his name, but I believe he'd beat quite a few guys in the top 10 anyway. So it's a good opponent, someone that I'm going to be able to go out and do my stuff against, and I look forward to it Friday.
ATT is at an all-time high in this Bellator middleweight division with, of course, you and Dalton Rasta, but also the champ, Johnny Eblen. Does it make you proud to see so many guys of your gym excelling in this weight class?
Yeah. We got a really good squad, a good camaraderie and whatnot. I'm really happy to see those guys do well too. And it gives you a sense of confidence as well, because you're in there grinding with those guys every day, and everyone's working together and helping each other out and stuff. So it's a cool thing, and I can say like proudly that I look forward and I hope that, one of my next opponents is Johnny, because that means he's going out and doing his job and defending the belt, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm winning fights, and that's the matchup I would want, not because I dislike Johnny or anything. I just want us both to do the best that we can, and so that's someone I'd look forward to.
That would be a massive fight. I cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Awesome. Thank you, Santiago.
Dylan Rush.
Hey, Austin, thanks for taking the time. So you just mentioned the potential of fighting one of your ATT brothers, Johnny Eblen, maybe even Dalton Rasta one day. In that scenario, would you move gyms, or would they move gyms, or how would that go down?
No, we would all make it work. We just had teammates fight last week for the semifinals in another promotion, and we would make it work. We're all really loyal to American Top Team, and the only thing is I don't see any of us fighting unless it's for a title. So, as far as that goes, but I know I can only speak for myself, and I'm not going anywhere. I'll retire with American Top Team, and this will be my home forever. So, as far as I go, I ain't moving gyms.
And then I asked your opponent, Aaron Jeffery, this. He told me it was a good question, so I got to go for it again. Is there more or less pressure in a short notice fight? It's short notice for you as well. So do you feel more pressure on a short notice fight or less pressure?
No, my goal is just to go out and do my job and get the work done. And that's just been my mindset. Like I said previously in another interview, I really don't care who's standing across the cage from me. And I just look forward to getting back in there and doing what I know I'm capable of doing and going and taking care of business.
And then Saeed Salma, he's on the card, Bellator heavyweight. How has he helped you in preparation for this bout? I see you guys have been training together a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, we're just in the gym together, and we're all grinding, all working hard with one another, and such a big gym, and sometimes you'll get a go with somebody, and we're a pretty close knit team, and everyone's looking out for the best of each other's interests and stuff. And I think maybe we had went one go in a jiu-jitsu class or whatever, but always trying to help each other out and pump each other up and stuff. And So I look forward to him. Saeed's a great guy. He's a good competitor too, and he's gonna go out and get the job done Friday as well.
Tyler?
Hey, Austin, thanks for taking the time. So going back to kind of the short notice situation, I know it was only 8 days, but did you tweak anything in your camp to adjust to Jeffery, or did you just kind of stay pat with everything?
We just say pat. I think going into most of my fights, it's what Austin Vanderford is going to go out and do, and not really focusing as much. Of course, there's little like nuances here and there of different opponents and you know, and then training for a title fight and stuff like that. I think there's some different things, but this opponent, he's not, you know, I mean, a little bit different styles, but you know, he's more of a stand-up guy, just like my other opponent was, and you know, I'd say maybe Aaron's a little more well-rounded than the last guy, but it's always been what I'm gonna go out and do, and I'm gonna go and you know, insert my dominance and do what is gonna take to get the victory.
And I just wanted to get your quick thoughts on Michael Page versus Platinum Perry. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that matchup. Are you gonna, and also, are you going to be there in London?
Yeah, ironically, I will be there because my wife is fighting the same night. So I'll be there. I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be an amazing fight. It's definitely gonna be it's gonna be crazy. I give a lot of respect though to MVP for, you know, stepping out of what he does. I know he's a striker, but to take the gloves off, man, and to go in there, and especially go in against a guy like Mike Perry, who is a banger, and it's gonna be a crazy fight. I look forward to it, honestly. That's my number one highlight of the week's gonna be my wife going out and getting the W, and then number two is watching that fight.
Of course. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck on your fight.
Awesome. Thank you.
Raul?
What's up, Austin? So your first time experiencing defeat came in your last outing for Bellator. I just want to know what lessons you learned from that.
Man, you know, to be honest, like throughout life and my career, I've taken so many losses, and whether it's on the wrestling mat or, you know, just losing money or whatever. So it's not really that new of a feeling. I put my heart and soul into everything that I'm passionate about and everything I do. And, you know, it's the same for wrestling, and it sucks and you feel the defeat, but I've got a one-track mind, and it's just to get better. And you know, I know we're going to suffer these losses, whether it affects your record or, you know, or just your day in the gym. You're going to suffer a loss, and you just got to evaluate and see where you can improve, what you went or where you went wrong, and all that. And I feel like I've done a good job on that. And I just look forward to going out and not even really proving anything other than, you know, I'm going to continue to get better, and you're just going to see a better version of Austin Vanderford each fight.
And I know you said you didn't want to prove anything, but your last finish came in 2019. I just want to know if there's any extra motivation to get a finish Friday night.
No, I mean, I'm always looking to go out and finish, and you know, I feel like most of my fights are bloody, and you know, I go out there and do what I do, and I'm not fixated on that. I just want to be the best version of myself, and you know, whether I'm beating somebody's face in, or I knock somebody out, or I tap somebody out, whatever. I'm just focused on going out and getting the job done.
Jay?
Hi, Austin. Thank you very much for joining us. How's everything with you?
Everything's good. Thank you.
I know it's a short notice fight, but has anything leading into this particular fight changed to what you have been doing in the past? And do you feel mentally stronger going into this fight coming off a loss?
So to answer that question, I do. I feel like I'm in a really good spot, like mentally and as far as that goes. You know, it was a short notice opponent change, but for me, I've been training and preparing for a fight for like 3 months. So I'm ready to go. I'm in good shape, and you know, the biggest thing for me is just to go and do what I do and take care of business.
Thank you very much.
Dylan?
Hey there, Austin. I appreciate you making some time.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm just curious because the way you're talking about Aaron Jeffery through this scrum, it seems to indicate a sense of being aware of what his previous resume was going into this fight. Can you speak to, I guess, the level of awareness you may have had with his like resume and everything before this announcement?
I mean, not like, I've seen him compete on the Contender Series and then of course I watched his Bellator debut and then when they told me about the opponent change, we checked things out and stuff. But he, like I said, he's had some good fights. He's fought some tough competition, and he'll be ready to go out and fight. I'd imagine if he's taking the fight on 8 days' notice, he feels good about where he's at with his cardio and all that stuff. So I look forward to going out and testing him.
For sure. And as much as this is a mixed martial arts contest, obviously you have the great resume with the Alaska amateur wrestling, and his amateur wrestling from the Niagara region is very centric to his game. As much as it is a mixed martial arts bout, is there going to be a bit of a Niagara region versus Alaska wrestling kind of dynamic in this one, perhaps?
No, I don't think so. I wasn't really aware of like his Niagara wrestling and stuff like that. So I haven't put any thought into that. And it's a fight, and I'm just going out to fight him.
Yeah, fair enough. And then just lastly for me, there's another gentleman on the card just with Josh Hill competing. Have we had a meeting of the gentlemen fight week, or not really cross paths with Josh Hill?
Oh yeah. He's I don't really I can't think if I've seen him or not. We definitely haven't like said hi to each other. So but that's cool though. Two of us, two gentlemen. He must be a really nice guy.
Yeah, can confirm. Couple of nice guys. Thanks for the insights, man.
Okay, yes.
Mills?
Hey, how's it going, Austin? It's MMA Locker Room, part of Plus Sports Radio.
Hey, going good. Thank you.
Good. So it seems like you and your opponent both fought on the Contender Series. You walked away with the win on there. Came to Bellator. It seems like, you're loving your stay here with Bellator. It seems like they're treating you like, the main guy as a prize fighter. They seem to let their fighters fight in other promotions. MVP doing some BK FC fighting. Would you ever entertain maybe fighting for like another promotion like that and, fight on a card with your wife?
Man, my main focus is MMA and in specific Bellator, and just working my way back up to a title shot here. So I really haven't given like too much thought into another, a fight in a different promotion.
Got it. And one other thing before we get out of here. What do you look forward to more? Your after fight meal or those photo shoots that you do with your wife out there?
Well, actually after the fight, my wife is preparing to compete the very next week. So this will probably be like the first time after fight where I'm not going to go crazy on food or anything. And I'm going to respect my wife and what she's going through as far as like nutrition and dieting to get down to weight. And I'm going to stay pretty clean up until after her fight. And then after that, I think I look more forward to like food and beer than the photo shoots, although I do love the photo shoots.
Danny?
Hey, what's up, Austin? How are you, man?
I'm good, thank you.
Hey, so you're a very positive guy. You're always happy. You're always in a good mood and just always staying positive. But I wonder, coming up short in such a big opportunity you got against Gegard, how much did that sting? And more or less, how much did it take for you to kind of get back on the horse, per se, if there even was that kind of process?
As far as the sting goes, definitely. I mean, it sucked. I had like the worst night of my career as far as competing, and one of my like worst nights as far as competing, like not just in MMA but in wrestling and everything. I relate it to like going out and getting thrown in an amateur wrestling match and getting pinned in 10 seconds. But that's the sport that we're in, and that's what, I'd be a liar if I said that never happened to me in wrestling as well. And it was never really hopping back on the horse, it was immediately after evaluating what went wrong and the mistakes that could be fixed, and then addressing those. And truly, I just looked forward to this day coming up, to getting another chance to compete and going out and to fight again.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't want to harp too much on the past. So just one more question on this, and then I got another one. But you're obviously like a very talented grappler, and throughout your Bellator tenure, we've seen how good you are. And a lot of people expected, hey, like this guy's gonna come out here and put the pressure on Mousasi and wrestle him. We've seen him kind of have troubles with that kind of style before in the past. So I guess if you could explain, like, why did you decide to strike and not use your wrestling? Because a lot of people were puzzled by that.
Well, I mean, the fight only lasted like a minute and a half, so you got to have some time to set those things up. And he knew what the game plan was going into it too. He knew I was a grappler and a wrestler, and that I was going to go out and do that. And bottom line, to be blunt, I took a shitty shot and I didn't set it up. I never allowed myself to get comfortable, and I just, like I said, there were mistakes that were made that I feel like I've been able to address and improve on, and I'm gonna say that it's not gonna happen again. I'm gonna be prepared and go out there and do it. So, it just, like I said, it wasn't my night, and I wasn't meant to be champion that night, and I can rest on that and know that, and feel in my heart that my time definitely is still coming, and I look forward to just getting back after it.
Yeah, for sure. Gold is still on your mind. So I guess if you can, in your mind, like what is the road back to a title shot? Like, what do you envision yourself? What do you think you have to do to get back there? And more or less, how long do you feel like that journey will be?
Well, I'll tell you this, the main thing is just going out there Friday night and taking care of business. I'll never look past a single opponent, and I'll never, like make these big plans on where I'm going to go. The first thing is going out and hurting Aaron Jeffery on Friday night, and that's what I plan on doing.
Mm-hmm. And then just one more for me. Paige has mentioned in the past how, like, she's obviously focused on bare knuckle, but MMA was her first love, and she's always, she's kind of hinted at potentially going back to mixed martial arts in the future. Have you guys ever had conversations like, hey, it'd be pretty sick if you go over to Bellator and whatnot? We've seen that, for example, Bellator let Michael Venom Page compete in BKFC, so we've seen fighters been able to do both. Have you ever talked to her about that, a potential move to Bellator?
I think we just had a conversation last night, and that conversation is about how I'm going to go out and hurt this motherfucker on Friday night. So I look forward to it Friday, going out and competing against Aaron and get my hand raised Friday night.
Thank you, Austin. That concludes our time. Up next, we have Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. We will be joined momentarily by Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. We are now joined by Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. Santiago, we'll start with you.
Aloha, Ilima. Thank you for the time. This flyweight division is absolutely filled with killers right now. Super exciting, if you ask me. And you, Ilima, were the one to build it all up and dominate it in spectacular fashion. That has to make you proud, right?
Yes, it does. Thank you. Thank you for the greeting, by the way. Aloha to you. And yeah, it does make me feel good to see our division growing, and we're steadily adding more and more talent. And it's already a deep ass division, you know, with some of the best in the world. So yeah, super grateful to be part of that first wave.
Bruna is pretty young for this division, and she had a couple of very close fights inside the Bellator cage. What do you make of her style, and how do you think she's going to approach the fight with you on Friday night?
Yeah, I didn't realize she was so young, because I just remember her being part of the first wave that got signed to the division, like right around my time. So, you know, I always considered her one of the OGs of Bellator's flyweight division. But yeah, I didn't realize that she was a lot younger. So that just kind of shows, you know, really talented, young and hungry. She was around the same age I was when I was going for the belt and everything. So I know she has that drive. And I know that, you know, coming into this fight, she has that drive to prove that, you know, she belongs with the top of the division if she can take out the former queen. So I think she's going to come into the fight, you know, pretty strategic, honestly, because so far all the fights that I have lost, the 2 fights that I have lost, it was really strategic fights on my opponent's part. You know, they stayed on the outside. They stayed out of, you know, any grappling or they tried to stay out of grappling situations with myself, and you know, just really worked on nullifying my submission game. So I think Bruna is going to be very well prepared for my style, and she's going to be very strategic for this fight.
I wanted to stick with those 2 losses for a second. Do you also get a little bit of the feeling that people are being a bit too dramatic about your last 2 fights? It's not like you got finished, and also you didn't really took a lot of damage in both those fights either.
Yeah, I mean, besides breaking my nose and splitting open my eyebrow in the Velasquez fight, which was, the eyebrow was from the cage, but the nose was from her flying knee. Yeah, aside from that, and then in the you know, the Justine fight, you know, besides having to get wheeled out of the arena in a neck brace and a stretcher, I didn't take that much damage. You're correct. But yeah, like you said, you know, like even with one arm in my last fight, I was able to finish the fight, and even with, you know, a broken nose, I just walked through that flying knee. I was able to finish the fight. So like you said, yeah, I mean, whatever's, I got 2 losses on my record, boo-hoo. And yeah, I'm hard to finish. So I think if anything, that actually kind of just showed everybody that, yeah, I can walk through a lot of, I can walk through a flying knee and still swing. I can walk through, again, having one arm and still knock you down with it. So yeah, I mean, I don't really care that I lost those last 2. I think the people that are making it a big deal, their opinion doesn't really matter.
I'm sorry that I missed that. You spoke about maybe wanting to retire if your contract is finished, which made me very sad. Is that still depending on upcoming results, or did you already make your mind up? And would you still do something within the sport of MMA when you walk away from the cage? Because you are great on the desk and the broadcast as well.
Thank you. I would love to continue my journey with Bellator, whether that's in or outside of the cage. Well, preferably, like you said, you know, I want to say I have my mind made up about retiring after my contract is done. And you know, you see fighters retire all the time and then they come back. So I don't want to say my fighting career is done for good, but I just think that for the time being, I need a break. And like I said, I would love to continue my journey with Bellator even after, you know, I'm done inside the cage. I really enjoy you know, being behind the desk, being on the mic, being behind the camera, or in front of the camera rather. And so, yeah, if there's a place for me, then let's do it, Bellator, wink, wink.
Let's do it. I cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on Fight Night in Lima.
Mahalo.
Tyler?
How are you doing? Just a couple questions here. So your second most in submission wins in Bellator history, does that make you want to get that submission a little bit more, or is it just kind of however you win the fight is how you win?
So who's number one? Do you know?
I think you're tied with Michael Chandler and Neiman Gracie. So both of you guys could get a submission and stay tied.
Neiman, let's go. Okay, so you said that we're second. We're in second for most submissions.
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
According
and
to
I think actually number one is Goichi, yeah?
yeah, I think you're correct.
Okay. Well, that's cool. At least I have the most submissions out of the women. But yes, I'm always looking for the submission finish. You know, I got to represent my 10th planet jiu-jitsu style. My my master sensei, Eddie Bravo, and my head coach, Richie Boogeyman Martinez. You know, I'm always repping 10th Planet Freak family. So yeah, I'm going for the submission. And yeah, I always like to beat out guys too. So Neiman, me and you, we're on the hunt right now. If we can get a submission in our fight on Friday, then yeah, we'll be beating the other one.
That's fantastic. And also just give a little insight on how your camp was.
Camp was interesting. This was the fastest turnaround that I've had ever, pretty much in my entire career. And a part of me wants to say it backfired on me because I was so amped up to go, you know, from being off a year and a half from the surgery. I was super amped up for the Hawaii fight. And then when I lost that one, then I was even more amped up to get into the cage because, you know, I wanted to fight, you know, I wanted to redeem myself, so to speak. And I think in a way it kind of backfired because my body still needed to heal from the trauma of the fight and everything. My neck needed to heal, my knee needed to heal, but I was so concerned about just getting back in there. But with that said, I think it went as good as it could have been given the circumstances of like my physical health. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to have, I don't want to say setbacks, but there's going to be like hindrances throughout camp just because of, you know, again, my, you know, my knee, my neck, all that stuff. So camp was okay. It wasn't like my other camps though. It was definitely, I couldn't do as much.
Thank you so much and good luck on your fight.
Thank you.
Dylan?
Hey there, I appreciate you making some time.
Hi, Dylan.
I'm just curious because like earlier on your analyst work had been mentioned and obviously you're squarely focused on your own fight, but is there like a peripheral awareness to like the ranked contender fight between Deanna Bennett and Justine Kish on the same card?
Oh yeah. I'm actually a huge women's MMA fan anyway. So like regardless if they were in my division or regardless if I had fought them or could fight them in the future, I would be stoked to watch their fight. I watch all the women's fights on the Bellator cards just because I'm a big women's MMA fan. But yeah, they're definitely, I was excited to see them that they were on their card. I think that's a really good rematch to have, especially because Justine did beat me. And so, you know, she threw her name back there into the title contention. I think Deanna has always been up there as a title contender, you know, despite her not making weight for the majority of her Bellator appearances. She's still up there. I think she's still one of the top in the division for sure. So I think that a win, whichever one of these ladies wins, can definitely make the argument for a title shot. So yeah, with that said, they were definitely on my peripheral when I saw that they were on the card, and that's not just as, you know, the fact that will probably fight one of them in the future, just the fact that I'm a huge women's MMA fan.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, great fight for sure. But one last thing I wanted to touch on, because I saw your Instagram post that you just dropped there and you were talking about how much you enjoyed the new look there and like supporting, you know, native artists and stuff like that. Can you speak to the importance of that to you? Because I think it's really cool.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of people think it's kind of random that I'm fighting in South Dakota, but when I was offered this opportunity, I was like, hell yes, Indian country, baby. Those are like all my relatives out there. So yeah, you know, we are on Indian land right now. And so I just wanted to tribute and honor all of them this week and, you know, pay tribute to all the Native artists and businesses, Native owned businesses throughout Turtle Island and Indian country. So I'm wearing some of them right now as we speak. You'll see me wearing them in the weigh-ins. You saw them, you know, I was wearing them during my photo shoot. So again, I think it's just really important to honor the original occupants of this land. And yeah, Wopila to all our relatives that allowed us to be here.
For sure. Super appreciate the insights. Thanks so much.
Mahalo.
Eddie?
Hi, Eddie Law, Cage Side Press. Your walkout at Bellator 279 in Hawaii was incredible. I mean, you were right in the middle of it. How did that make you feel? Because that, just watching it on television was incredible and amazing. How did you feel walking out to that?
That was the most amped up I've ever been in a walkout. I don't know if you could see my face in it, but I said LFG. And you know, that's the first time I've ever yelled or screamed during a walkout, really. So you could tell I was super amped up. The crowd was amazing. You know, every year my walkouts in Hawaii get, I feel like, more and more intense. And I'm always like, all right, how can I top the last one? How can I top the last one? But they're all very special in their own way. They all have different meanings. And yeah, I'm also going to have I didn't even clear it with Bellator yet, but I'm planning on having a walkout this Friday. I just got to get it okayed with the production side. But yeah, this Friday's walkout is going to be really special too.
And are you looking to hopefully fight once more in Hawaii before you call it a day and join the analyst desk?
Well, if all goes well, ideally, you know, I would like to retire in Hawaii. I don't think there's any other option to retire than in Hawaii. And so that would be the ideal option. But we'll see what Bellator has planned.
All right. Thanks so much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ilima. That concludes our time today.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
We are now joined by Neiman Gracie. Eddie, we'll start with you. Santiago, we'll start with you.
Hi, Neiman. Shalom. Thank you for the time. You have been with Bellator MMA since 2015, and you even fought for the title. How are you experiencing your time in this major MMA promotion?
Shalom, my brother. It's amazing. I love this promotion. They be treating me so nice. And I'm really happy here, and I hope to be challenging for the title soon again.
You were in one of the most exciting Bellator main events of all time when you fought Logan Storley, and now the promotion wants you back in another headlining spot. Can you feel it as well, Neiman, that Bellator likes your fighting style and the energy that you bring to the cage?
Yeah, of course. And how can they not like? You know, I make fun fights. All of my fights have been fun. I always try to go for the finish, or if I'm not able to finish, it's always a great, great fight. So it's good.
I wanted to go back to something that you tweeted out after your last fight, that it's simply impossible to satisfy every person in the world. And I agree with you. Most fans just don't know what they want. But Neiman, did you also get the feeling that a lot of people really enjoyed your fight with Logan Storley? Because I saw a lot of positive reactions as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of people like, but a lot of people are criticizing me because the fight was all a striking fight. But hey, I made Logan Storley look fun. You know, I made Logan Storley have a fun fight. How hard is that, right?
I agree. What do you make of Goiti moving up another weight class after he also fought at featherweight and lightweight?
I think it's amazing, man. I think it's great, and it makes me want to go up too, maybe in the future.
Do you see something happening like what happened with Logan Storley, stand-up fight because of your jiu-jitsu accolades and his as well?
Not really. I think it's gonna be more grappling on this fight because he's not afraid to go to the floor. Logan Storley was afraid to go to the floor. No disrespect, but he actually said that. So I don't think Goiti is gonna be afraid, and I think we're gonna be able to do a nice grappling fight like I did with Ed Root.
You look in tremendous shape like always. Cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Jason?
Hey, Neiman, my question for you is, you've been in 5-round fights, your last fight and a couple, title fights, as you mentioned before. Do you think that gives you the advantage against Goiti, who this is his first 5-round fight in Bellator?
It gives a little bit of an advantage. I think this is my fourth 5-round fight, but it depends on his style. Don't think it's a big advantage, but it is an advantage. It's always good to test waters before you go to them. So I already got tested there, so I think it's good.
And what do you make of your opponent in Goiti Yamauchi, who's been on a nice run here, and he's looking to add your name to the list of big names that he's got under his belt in Bellator?
I think he's great, a very good fighter, a very dangerous fighter, and I respect him and his style a lot. So I train really hard for this fight, and I'm ready. I'm also ready to add his name to my list.
All right, thank you very much, Neiman. Best of luck Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Neiman. That concludes our time.
Thank you.
As well as concludes our time for media availabilities. We'll see you guys Friday after the fights.
Thank you, guys. So that was great, huh?